What instantly tells you someone is a trashy parent? Parents who can't apologize to a child. It's okay to have human emotions and moment to be triggered or struggling and lash out, or be wrong, but for the love of all things good, apologize and change. I swear some adults say, children should have respect for their elders, and use that as an excuse to shit on them without consequences. I've definitely had meltdowns by being overstimulated and lashed out, but I always apologize. Today I stubbed my toe and he spilt his milk on me and the dog stepped on my other foot all at the same and I shouted at the world. But my little boy, he's almost 4, patted my back and said, "It's okay, mommy, I get frustrated too. Just say sorry and it's okay." And I was so proud that my little demon knows big feelings and that's it's okay. Mothers who sees their daughter as competition. My mom told me once she never wanted a daughter because she didn't want anyone to take my dad's attention from her. Anyways, now they're divorced and am still a daughter. I'm more shocked she openly admitted that. Wow, that's terrible. Parents that get angry at their kids for asking questions just because they are curious. Oh my god, I can't even comprehend that. My daughter is the most inquisitive 8-year-old in the world. She asks so many questions, and I love it to death. She wants to know how everything works, and I do my best. If I don't know the answer, I tell her, "Let's go look it up," trying to teach her to admit when she doesn't know something and to feel comfortable being informed for if that topic presents itself later. As someone who is blind and uses a white stick to navigate, this irritates me to no end. Kids ask questions about things they haven't encountered before, and it's not uncommon for me to hear a child asking a parent a question about me. When this happens, the ones that make me smile are the ones who answer honestly, and the ones that cause me to kneel down and answer the child myself are the ones who get snappy and irritable with them for asking the question. Your adult children don't talk to you and you don't know why. My mom complains that I don't talk to her, but 9 out of 10 phone calls results in her screaming at me. Of course I don't want to talk to her. My day is ruined every time I do. Ironically, never thinking you're a bad parent. I always think I'm a bad parent. I just want my kid alive, happy and knows they are loved, but I'm always thinking I'm the bad one. We all do, don't worry. If you are concerned, odds are you are actually doing a decent job. Caring is like 95% of the battle to not being trashy. Demanding respect on the basis of them being an adult, and yet not reciprocating it when their children become adults. Screaming at the children to stop screaming. Same people demand some self-reflection from others. Zero interest in the kid. Doesn't care what they do or what happens to them as long as they don't inconvenience them. Yes. An old apt I stayed at had a pool. I befriended several of the kids as I have a playful personality. I felt so bad for this little girl as she seemed like a sweet kid, but her brother was a bratty lilish who went around doing whatever he wanted. When he didn't get his way, he would scream. For example, there was a water gun she finally got to play with. 2 seconds later, her brother wants it. She says no because she just got it, so he screamed. That was the only time his parents would pay attention to them the entire time at the pool, and every time they would yell at their poor daughter like his ishy behavior was her fault, was the saddest, frustrating thing. When their kids could literally set the world on fire, and they'll blame anyone else to avoid responsibility. My mother-in-law. She already divorced 1 child, tried numerous times others. But all of her children are gold. One has child that his now wife knows nothing about. One had gambling problems and so on. But they are perfect, but their spouses are trash. Oh, and she must tell them what is best for them. They are in their 40s now. So, when I was an aide for a classroom, I was placed to be in charge of observe one particular girl. She would bite me, hit me, scratch me, spit on me, threw things at me, including poop, and constantly eloped. When I told my supervisors, I was just told to document it all. Eventually it got to the point where I became a trigger for the girl, as it was my job to keep her inside of the classroom and away from the playground. She never got diagnosed, but I know parents had her tested many times. However, they were clearly the "we want government benefits" family, which is why they enabled her behavior and had her tested monthly. I also had to talk to these parents quite often, as they had to sign off in my daily documentations. They too went off of me, saying they were going to sue, saying that their daughter didn't listen to me because I was young and a woman. Parents can be one's downfall. Using their kids for clout on social media, especially TikTok and YouTube. Nauseated face. This is so disgusting. I have a cousin who edits her daughter's skin color and facial features so much that the kid started doing it on her own too. But when it comes to her younger kids who are conventionally attractive, she just posts their pictures as is. She all lets them dance provocatively on TikTok with her. It's crazy because she's a 33-year-old woman who picked up an 18-year-old to be her boyfriend, and when said boyfriend got her pregnant, she went ballistic when the kid refused to marry her. Now she's posted a miscarriage video on TikTok for all her 600,000 followers to see how she's burying a fetus in her backyard. The fetus was in her hand and is the first thing you see on the clip. She's also set her social media accounts on public so everyone could see her long rants and her side of the story. It's all trashy. I'm embarrassed to say it's morbidly entertaining, but I feel so bad for her children who are all definitely going to grow up with deep-seated issues. Smoking in the car house with children. My chronic asthma and eczema disappeared in my late teens, and had nearly gone by my early 20s. Probably because I wasn't spending time inside with cigarette smoke. I only found out in the last couple of years that cigarette smoke is a skin irritant. A lot of my skin is trashed from steroid creams. My parents used to make fun of me when I complained about their smoking. When their child is afraid of them. When they take any chance they can to belittle their child. Constantly saying their child is a failure and will never amount to anything. I have more that are actually based on my own parents, but those are ones I'm currently angry about, because I have to deal with it daily from my mother-in-law. Keep spending money on themselves, but when it comes to something like a class for their kids, their budget is limited. I work at a grocery store. I remember one time there was a little boy with his parents. The shopping cart was filled with beer and party-type stuff. The little boy asked if he could get an apple. Just one apple. The mom said no, that they didn't have enough money for that. What a fact? I wasn't a parent back then, but now whenever I see something similar like that I butt in and get it for the kid. I just can't. If your daughter has to finish her chores before doing anything fun, but your son doesn't have chores. This happened to me. I'm the youngest of 4, and by the time I was 13, it was just me, my parents, and one of my brothers still living at home. My brother is 5 years older than me, and super close with our dad, who I have a very strained relationship with. Every night after dinner, my dad would always finish the meal with, "My name will do the dishes," as my brother smirked at me from across the table. This happened every night, 7 days a week. Whenever I tried to argue that it wasn't fair, my dad would get angry with me and tell me to shut up and to follow his rules. My brother never had to lift a finger around the house. I wasn't a great student and decided to quit studying after I graduated high school. My dad told me I had a month to find a job or he would kick me out. Meanwhile, my adult brother was unemployed and spent his days at home on the computer. It's still the same to this day. We're all in our 30s now. Whenever we get together for a family lunch, my other brother and I will offer to do the dishes as the other one either naps on the sofa or mysteriously disappears until the dishes are done. Saying, "Those doctors don't know shit. I know what's best for my baby." When I worked in pediatrics, I would rephrase it for the parents and say, "You know your baby best. We know babies as a group best. Let's put our heads together and figure out what the solution is as a team." See, whenever we go to the DR, I just trust that the doctor has more knowledge than me. Except with my daughter's former pediatrician. He wouldn't ever address me directly, just my husband. He'd be like, "Okay, Dad, have Mom get baby dressed while we go talk in my office." And he kept trying to say that my 2 to 3-year-old had an eating disorder and put her on a medication to increase her appetite. Like, yes, she is a bit on the small size, but she was born at 28 weeks, and she eats a healthy amount. They neglect their own children for their girlfriend-boyfriend's kids. Or for their boyfriend-girlfriend in general. Moving out in a month as a minor because of this. Not accepting their gay child because of their own hate and homophobia. This is traumatic for us, and causes lifelong distrust. When they tell you the child is a burden, with them sitting right there in front of you. Coca-Cola in the sippy cup. Allow a kid to be rude and impolite towards others. Allowing a kid to mistreat an animal. When their children are clamoring for their attention, and the parent just tells them to be quiet. I get it, you've got this kid hanging around you 24/7, but at the same time, You are their whole world. They are trying to show you something. Acknowledge them. When my son was still really little, I saw some sort of video where children wrote down things that they wanted to tell their parents but couldn't or something like that, and a lot of them were that they wanted attention. So many of the notes said their parents just look at their phone when they are around, and it broke my heart. It's hard because it's a mindless thing, but we always make it a point to put our phones away when we have some one-on-one time with the boy. What instantly tells you someone is a trashy parent? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.